Welcome back again to Do That But Better. I'm Zach here with my brother Eric, holding it down in Colorado. And Eric, today we're getting the snow. You're not.
Yep.
We're finally coming into winter. We're in the week like we talked about, the holiday vortex week, where everything is a little bit crazy and nobody
hmm
really knows what's going on. And I loved your post the other day about does your countertop look like this? And if anybody didn't see it, it was like cookies and cake and just whatever. And
Yep.
is that what your counter looks like now?
Well, I mean, we just had 8 more people show up yesterday, so most of those cookies are gone now. Uh,
Oh, perfect.
there is a little bit of cake left still. Uh, but yeah, it's getting worked through.
Yeah, we have on our counter. There's like there's like a whole coffee cake or something like that. I don't even know what it is because I haven't opened it yet. There's like a box of cookies. There's another box of cookies, and we actually had this was one of the best put together meals ever. So the day after, or I guess no, I guess Monday, uh, Autumn and Seth were going to come over just to have lunch, and they were going to see if they could get something like and just bring it. And Mom was like, "Here, I'm going to put together the leftovers, and you can just take those." She's like, "Oh no, you know what? I'm just going to make a soup." And so in like 10 minutes, it was like hash brown casserole, spinach, stuffing, and put it all into like made it like a cream soup. And so
hmm
like the stuffing is like dumplings, and dude, it is just like holy crap. But we have a huge pot of it, and once again, it's just like, oh man, what in the world am I gonna
Yep.
do?
Yep. I love those.
Yeah, but yeah, tons of stuff, and well, actually, sort of like that. What am I gonna do? And
hmm
right now, people are like, man, I can't wait to get started in the new year because this year is going to be different.
Yep.
And this is the big problem. Like, number one, like waiting, right? But
hmm
like right now, we have like a lot of people are off work. A lot of people are they just have weird schedules or whatever. But you have a little bit of time, and this is a great time to really start planning instead of hoping.
Yep.
So we want to
I
talk a little bit today about goal setting. And actually, Eric, the when I was looking to quit my job, I was I was pretty nervous, and so I actually reached out to you because I know that you're really good at doing this.
hmm
So I think it's going to be great to be able to go over a little bit of how to set goals and make them useful in the new year instead of stupid resolutions.
Totally.
I I actually just realized, like, so there was it was years ago. It was our first New Year's party in our house. Like me and Natalie had just got married. We had our new house, and we had all of our friends over. And we're like 22, and we are stupid. And we had a crazy party. And one of my buddies, Phil, who he really didn't drink much at all, and probably still doesn't. And he was running around yelling, "It's not New Year." Actually, he's outside running around in January, and he's like, "It's not New Year's resolution. It's New Year's revolution."
I'm pretty sure I was there, and yeah, that was hilarious.
And it was crazy. And but I'll tell you what, I think that is a better way to think about this. It's
hmm
not, hey, I resolved to do this. It's like, no, I need to change this stuff up. And if I want to get what I want, then I need to really dig into this and set up a path for it.
Yep. Yeah, and dig into me. Like I
Hmm.
need to dig into me because I think that's one of the biggest mistakes. Like you said, is making stupid resolutions.
Hmm.
We pick like way too often. People pick stuff that they don't even care about.
Hmm.
Like I want to lose some weight. Like do you want to, or is that just like what most people do? That's what most people say, and
Yeah,
so yeah, I guess I'll do that. It's like,
right.
oh, what do you actually want to do? Because maybe it's like I want to go to Hawaii and I want to feel confident on the beach. Like, okay, that's a whole different thing than
Hmm.
just lose weight,
Yeah.
right? So getting clear um, on what you actually want is why would you put in the time and effort and investment to reach a goal that you don't actually care about?
Right.
I would say that's got to be like the number one reason people don't reach their goals,
Okay.
because it's just a crappy goal. It's not something you actually want to do.
Right. Yeah, and man, I mean, when you talk about even just like the losing weight, right? And yeah, why do you want to lose weight? I want
Mhm.
to fit in my clothes better. Well, why? You know, like
Yep.
just buy different clothes; they'll fit better, right? And
Yeah.
so I mean, there's lots of solutions if you know what you're looking for, because yeah, if you just wear sweatpants all the time, it fits fantastic and it feels great, you know.
Yeah.
And so now what clothes do I want to fit in? And then you know, lots of times it might come down to, hey, I want my partner to be looking at me like when we were married, like when we just got married. Or all of a sudden it's like, well, I want to lose weight because my knees hurt, like just from walking, right? Or you know, out of breath walking up the stairs. Or hey, I have high blood pressure and my doctor told me I need to. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, that's a little bit more concrete. And it's not like, well, it would be cool.
Right. Yep. And I mean that gets into like this idea of like vague goals, of like
Hmm.
losing weight is super vague.
Yep.
But like you're saying, I want to be able to walk this distance without my knees hurting.
Mm.
That is a more specific goal. Or I want to get my blood pressure to this level so that I don't have to go on blood pressure medication.
Right.
Now you've got like a very clear goal that you're trying to get to, and you know when you've reached it or when you haven't.
Mm.
And so again, like getting to that something that you actually care about and making it super clear and precise so that you know if you're there, you know if you aren't, right? You know exactly how to get there. Um, but yeah, the clarity, because again, way too often people just make vague goals that it's like, I don't know, am I happier this year? Maybe. I was happy a little bit sometimes. Like, no, what specifically do you want?
Mm. I see that a lot in the gym. So not only with weight, but also I want to be stronger. I want to
Hmm.
be fitter. All right, what do you mean? Like, do you, um, you know, do you want to be able to squat a certain amount of weight? Do you, what would make you feel strong?
Right.
And do we even have a goal for what would? Or and like actually I feel like lots of times when I talk to people about their goals like that, I have to start in the reverse, right? And just what makes you feel not strong,
Hmm.
and now we can start reverse engineering to go, all right, these are the things that I don't feel adequate, and now here's where I would feel adequate.
Yeah, totally. And I think CrossFit is an awesome example for like goal setting in general, like that specifically of like I want to be stronger, because in CrossFit, do you mean you want a heavier squat or a heavier deadlift, or do you mean you want a better fight gone bad score?
Mm,
Because those are very very different things, and you might say
right.
you're stronger or I'm fitter with
Hmm.
one or the other. And I know, like in my experience, I thought that I wanted to be stronger. I wanted to have heavier lifts,
Hmm.
but I was not willing to give up like the conditioning, right?
Hmm.
And so then you get into the balance of like what are you willing to, what's your cost benefit analysis? Because if you want a heavier squat and a heavier deadlift and a heavier snatch, you're probably going to have to ease off the Metcons and focus on just strength for a while. Like
Mm-hmm.
give yourself a few months, and maybe your Fran time goes down by 10 seconds. Are you okay with that?
Right.
Right? And like it's that sense of loss that is really hard to deal with. It's like you people are thinking that I can have all of these things. Like I can keep everything the way it is and then reach this goal. But I mean, you can't stay the same and change.
Absolutely. I think that is so huge. Even just when people go into the new year and they're like, all right, or even when you start a gym, right? So when or not start a gym, start at a gym,
Hmm.
right? Uh, People assume that just doing exercise is going to make a difference, and it will, but not always exactly what you want, right?
Hmm.
So if so number one, the more work you do, the hungrier you get, right? So if I was already eating too many calories, and so not necessarily too much food, too many calories for my body, then I'm gaining body fat. Well, now I work out even more, and guess what? I get more hungry. And if I'm still eating the same crappy food, all I did was increase what I did. Now I might get stronger. I can actually get faster and like all these other metrics in the gym, but I didn't necessarily change my body composition. And I always
Hmm.
like to look at football players. You've got running backs and wide receivers and stuff like that who are straight shredded, and you've got linemen who are like, I mean, you might say obese, right? And like
Definitely.
they have a very high body fat percentage, and it's not because one does less work, right?
Right.
These guys are 300 pounds and they can dunk, they can do a backflip, they can run faster than you,
Yep, they
and
can beat
they
you in the 40, no problem.
all these things, but they are carrying extra body weight because of the way that they eat on purpose.
Hmm.
And yeah, so all of them, like, yeah, it, I don't even know how we got on that. We got on a long train.
The Well, changing. So changing the way that
Ah,
you
yes.
eat. You might start working out, but if you don't change what you're eating, you're still going to be eating more calories than.
I'm glad you were able to bring that back in.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so if we're making goals, and like how do we go about starting to making goals?
So, step one is some of that like clarity and identifying what you actually care about. So, this week is
Hmm.
perfect to sit down with a notebook. If if you got downtime between meals with family and whatever you're doing,
Hmm.
sit down with a notebook and ask yourself, what am I actually interested in? Some questions. So, like, when was I happiest this year,
Hmm.
and why? Why was I so happy at this event or doing this thing? And so then, like, how do I do more of that? Right? You start to get a picture of what are the things that I really like, that I'm excited about doing.
Hmm.
And so then figuring out like, are there goals in that aspect of life? Do I want to pursue more of that? How do I do more of that? You could ask the opposite too, of like, when was I least happy? What was my least favorite part of this last year, and why? And how do I do less of that?
Hmm.
Right. And so again, it's like it's just directing you toward uh, the things that are most important to you, like your priorities, your values, um, and starting to get an idea of what you want to see more of in your life.
Hmm.
Another one that maybe is a little less introspective that people would appreciate just sitting down with a notebook and writing about it is what have I dismissed as a pipe dream?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. And then why did I dismiss it? Like why is that impossible? If
Right.
I and then this is the best question is like the like how would I? You
Hmm.
know, if I had to achieve that pipe dream in 1 year, how would I go about it? Who would I ask? What would I like? Who would I reach out to? Um, because then you start to get creative.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, things start to open up. I was just talking to a coach the other day,
Hmm.
and he said, I think he had set for a 5 year goal to like live in Antarctica
Hmm.
for a while. And he thought it was like, this crazy goal. And he said as soon as he like made that goal and started telling people, people started messaging him and being like, "Hey, if you just go to this company, you can sign up and like go work in Antarctica with them for like 3 months. And if you want to stay longer, you just like fill out this application." Or like people like, "Hey, my friend runs this business and they like whatever take tours down there. You should talk to them." And he's like, "Oh, this is like way easier than I thought." Like it seems way out there. And then because you never really analyze it. And then when
Yeah.
you, for one thing, we haven't talked about is once you write it down,
Hmm.
then it's like a real thing that could happen.
Right.
And then ask, how would I go about it? And now you've got actual steps, you've got actual solutions.
Yeah.
So going back, asking yourself some of these questions, getting down to what do I actually care about? What's important to me? What goals do I actually want to achieve versus, what goals do most people just say they're going to do just because?
Yeah. And I think that when you say, finding what you actually want, there's the idea of like the seven whys, or like where
Yeah.
you're peeling back the onion and you go,
Mm-hmm.
all right, I want to lose weight. Why? Right. And well, I want to fit my clothes better. Why? And just keep going so you can start filling in the gaps and really getting specific on what you really need, or
Mm-hmm.
or what you want. Because, and also start with that one piece, but then make it more specific. I want to lose
Yeah.
weight. How much weight? And so, find the what, when, and why. And so now you got three more W's. But you know, because if you don't have, if you don't have that finish line, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I hope to lose 100 pounds, right? And so now I am a little bit more specific, but how long is it going to take me? Is it by the end of my life, right? Number one, I don't even know when that is going to be,
Yep.
right? So I don't know how much time I have, and what you're going to do if I want to lose 100 pounds in a year versus in 6 months might be different. And
Yep.
I'm not telling somebody to try and lose 100 pounds in 6 months. That would be very hard. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just finding um, a little bit more specific how I can start breaking this up. Because if I have 6 months, now I go, all right, month one, I can go back and check. Am I on track? And
Yep.
this is great because if you're not on track, that's okay. And I think that's one huge thing that throws people off on their New Year's resolutions is they have one bad day or one bad week, and they go, oh crap. But it's like, look, you just said I want to lose weight, and now it's like, oh, now it's not happening, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
that first week, all of a sudden, I lost 5 pounds because I didn't eat anything, and right, and so I was really happy. But it's like, all right, did I lose body fat? Did I, whatever you want to say here, right? Um, but if I have this goal, it's okay if I'm not there yet because it's 6 months away, but I can continuously track my progress and find, all right, am I still moving forward? Am I moving back? And I think it's really good when you are setting up goals. So let's have a few goals. Have your long-term goal, and then, like you said, plan it out, and now have your short-term goals.
Yep.
What does my month look like? What does my week look like? What does my day look like? Because now I can keep on track of, all right, did I do what I needed to do today to be the person that I want to be? And then you go, all right, this week, did I was I the person that I wanted to be this month? And now we can go back. Where was I having the most trouble? Because guess what? You're going to screw up.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I go over this often, and like not only with myself, because like for goals that I have, it's like, all right, why am I not doing this? But you need that accountability of whether it's on a piece of paper, and you said, hey, I need to be here by this day, or if it's with a coach or with a
Mm-hmm.
friend or an accountability partner, whatever, to go, all right, this is where I'm at. And guess what? If I fall just short, it's like fantastic, I made progress. But if I just
Right.
go, hey, I'm not there yet, right? And I don't have any of these accountability checks throughout, it's like, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
It's a lot more manageable.
Yeah. And I like what you said about was I the person that I wanted to be? Because that, I mean, there are, whatever, plenty of approaches to goal setting, but that is something that gets missed. And I've actually seen and been taught to do that piece before your actual like steps. So you've got your goal, like your kind of dream, your picture of what you want, and now talk about the identity
Mm,
of like who is the person who achieves that? Because right now you are not that person,
right.
right? Not yet. So who do you have to be? And again, like we talked about that feeling of loss,
Mm,
like you're gonna feel that because if I want to achieve that thing, I can't be exactly the person I am right now. I need to be that person who achieves that thing. And
right.
so, things, maybe relationships change. Maybe your schedule and routine changes, right? Like your environment, who you're around, what kind of things you have around is going to change. What shows you watch or books you read,
Yeah.
right? And so when
The
you
language you
address
use.
that, yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
And so now you get into that identity piece, and the behaviors are going to come with it.
Hmm.
Because if you are now like, and you use those I am statements, I am organized, I am efficient and careful with my time,
Hmm.
whatever it is, when you start reminding yourself that I am this person, you're going to start acting like that person.
Right.
And so now those behaviors are gonna flow naturally because you are adjusting your identity to the person who does that thing
Hmm.
versus saying, okay, here are the steps I have to take, and now I'm doing them, but I haven't recognized that like I have to change up here.
Yeah.
That's a tough piece, but I think that's huge. Like you write down your goal, your
Hmm.
specific goal, and then write down those identity statements of who am I as the person who achieves this thing. I am fill in the blank. And when you start reminding yourself of those things, now you can start to shift your identity and fill that role of that person that you want to be.
Give me an example of that. So, and just make up a goal, and um, you know, so what the goal is, and then those characteristics that you might need.
Um, so let's just go with easy like fitness.
Hmm.
I want to get stronger, be healthier, lose weight this year.
Hmm.
Okay, looking forward to next year, this time next year. Who are you? Like your ideal version of you. What do you look like in one year? It's like, well, I wake up and go to the gym every morning or whatever, 3 days a week. And I stop eating cookies at night before bed. And I don't go out with my friends every single weekend. Or like I don't go out to the bars every Friday night. Like,
Mm,
okay, now we've got a direction. So now you shift those into the I am statement. So I am, or maybe like I value um, my time at the gym. I
mm,
prioritize time at the gym
mm.
or exercise. I prioritize my nutrition.
Yeah.
I I shop. I only buy uh, nutrient dense foods,
Mm,
things like that. Where now I'm reminding myself of these are the roles that I fill. I'm the
yeah.
healthiest person in my friend group,
Yeah.
right?
Ooh,
Like I.
that
So
felt
this
good.
is one. Yeah, I I've seen people. Um, a lot of times you tell people who's someone you look up to that you want to be more like.
Mhm.
And multiple times it's someone that they work with, a coworker who doesn't eat the pizza and bagels that people bring in. And it's like, okay, now be that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the healthiest person in my office. I'm the
Yeah.
person that everyone else looks up to, right? And
Yeah.
now you start to fill that role of like, hang on, I'm the healthiest guy around here. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna show everyone else how to do that,
Right.
which is like
That's powerful.
that is yeah, absolutely.
And not only is that powerful, it's also scary. Yeah. So I think that we are very conditioned to not um, to like to not talk about ourselves well, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be because you go, well, somebody else might be a little bit healthier, and it's like, no, just do it. Like
Yeah. I
make it
try
undeniable.
sometimes, but I don't do great all the time.
Yeah. You know, like anytime that somebody hits a PR in the gym, they go, yeah, but it was ugly, or yeah, but it's like, no, just celebrate that. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? Now you're the strongest, right? Now you're the healthiest. Now you're the, I don't know, wealthiest. Whatever you want to be like, all right, here's how I'm going to do it. And I'll tell you what, it was funny because you went from like they don't eat cookies, they don't I forgot what they go don't go out to the bars and things like that. And then you changed it like to the positive. And I think that this
Mm-hmm.
is huge because so often we will be on the defensive, right? It's like I don't do this, I don't, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, what do you do? And now, like even when you think about that healthiest person in your office, and what do they do? It's not that they pass on the pizza. It's
Mm-hmm.
what do they eat, right? They bring their lunch. They go to the gym. Like they exercise daily, like they drink water, and now put those down. I'm going to drink water today. I'm going to bring my lunch today. I'm going to exercise today. And now you're on the offensive, and instead of going, I hope that this new year is better, you are putting the actions in that are making you the person that you want to be.
Yep. Yeah. And the difference between a wish and a goal is a goal's written down. Write it
Yeah.
down and make it real. Then you can
Yeah.
do it. If you're
Yep.
just wishing, I don't know. Jiminy Cricket might come hopping in your window, but doubtful.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Do you got any more um just goal setting tips or strategies?
I think those are the biggest. If you make clear goals that you actually care about,
Mhm.
write them down, and then think about that big picture of like the identity.
Hmm.
of who you're going to be, um, and then you can start to see like how that impacts everything. How's that going to impact your schedule and routine? But if you can get to that step of writing down specific goals with a date, right? Because 3% of people write down their goals. And when you write down your goals, it makes you 42% more likely to achieve them.
That's a big
So a
difference.
lot of people are leaving a lot on the table just by not writing it down. So write it down. And then, like I said, get into that identity of who am I going to become to make this happen?
Cool. I
If you
like
can
it.
do those two things, you're miles ahead of everybody.
Yeah. All right. So find your specific goal and make it as specific as possible. So time and
Mm-hmm.
what it looks like, and then write it down. Right. Make sure that you have your steps. Right. So that like now
Yep.
you can start to plan it and make yourself accountable. Right. So whether it's from yourself or with a friend, and then find what are those steps.
Yep.
What are the steps that I need to do, and execute. Be on the offensive. Things that you're
Totally.
gonna do, not what you're not gonna do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and think, I mean, if you're doing a goal or a resolution, it's a whole year. You're
Yeah,
not going to do it perfectly for a whole year.
yeah,
So give yourself a break, do the best you can, and you're going to keep improving as long as you
yeah.
keep showing up.
There you go. Love it. Well, awesome. Hope everybody has a great new year, and hopefully you guys get some goals down. And actually, we're going to be doing a goal setting session here at the gym. So anybody who wants to attend that, you can definitely reach out to me, and we're gonna write them down, and we're gonna make them real. So,
Awesome.
Eric, have a great New Year. Are you guys doing anything
Happy New
fun?
Year, everybody.
Cool. I'm gonna eat 12 grapes. That's what I'm gonna do at New Year. So, all right, Eric. Um, I will see you later.
All right. See ya.
All right, do that, but better.